So here we are at the start grid of the ABC Race 2 here in Pērnavā Summer Race 2020, the Baltic Touring Car Championship Round 3. And the guys are ready. It has been a fantastic battle in Race 1 between Kārlis Ozoliņš and Gints Pabērzs. Obviously, it's a reverse order for these guys. So first of all, it's a lottery. So basically, they're starting from P8 and 9 only. So we expect quite a lot of battles. Here's Jānis Hāns, one of the potential leaders. He finished third on Race 1, and he was not lucky, to be honest. Two laps were taken off, the total amount of laps. So let's talk to Jānis. Jāni, are you ready to fight back in Race 2?
Centīsimies nobraukt labāk nekā nobraucām iepriekšējo.
Okay. Best of luck to Jānis. He said he's going to try to do a better job than he did in Race 1. Obviously a fantastic result. Third place is not bad at all. He was a second faster than anyone else during each lap, but he was 2 laps short to fight for the win. Let's see what's the Race 2 going to bring. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
So we will see what Race 2 will bring us, but I hope it will bring us a lot of excitement.
Of course, already I can promise that for sure. So it was nice to talk to you guys. I mean to be here again, and thank you. Enjoy the rest of the races. I'm going to prepare for my one.
So thank you, Inga, and you will be
we'll
as a
see.
team manager in
Exactly.
Exactly. You won't believe. Those of you who can't believe that a woman can be a team manager, yes, she can. No problem.
We worked a lot of this night because we changed the gearbox. We didn't start in qualifying, and we will start at the end of the grid.
So there is everything to gain, nothing to lose, basically.
Of course, everything to gain. So good luck, guys, and keep watching us. I'm sure you'll see a lot of fights today and tomorrow as well. Bye.
So thank you, Inga, once more, and have a nice race today.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
So here we go in a few moments with ABC Race 2. We will have hopefully all 10 cars there, and grid is of course reversed compared to Race 1, and it means that Jānis Hāns, car number 19, who was one of the heroes in Race 1, will start from front row, actually from P2, together with car number 13, which, as I understand, will be driven by Oskar Skarda this time. Car number 13, that's Seat Ibiza, is the only car which uses the reglement in the way that there are 2 drivers, one driver for Race 1, another driver for Race 2. All the other 9 cars are only with 1 driver. And as they think sensible, of course, if you have only a 10-lap race, each race is only over 10 laps, something like 32 kilometers. Then if you think that you can drive only 1 race with shared driving, then it's not so much. So I understand the guys who are driving alone, they can have twice the fun. Of course, it costs a little bit more, but with those cars, I think it's not critical. So in 3 minutes, we should have a go. There are still 3 red lights on, and it means 3 minutes to the beginning of warm-up lap. Grid girls are still there, and all 10 cars we had in Race 1 are already on the Race 2 grid as well. It's a good sign always. No retired cars in Race 1. And Race 1 was won by number 88, Kārlis Ozoliņš. He is going to start from P8 this time. That Honda Civic, second on the right side of the picture. But as we saw, there are a lot of fast drivers here, and Jānis Hāns, who set the fastest laps during Race 1, and now starting from front row, he should be a favorite, but of course we will see during the race. If he manages to get a good start and pull away during the starting lap, first lap, then maybe he will be able to take certain win, but yeah, it's only speculation now. We'll see what happens. Greek girls are going away, and in a few seconds the warm-up lap for ABC Race 2 will begin. Row 1 on the right side is Tika Oskar Skarda, on the left side was number 19 Toyota Yaris of Jānis Hāns. Lots of different machinery also. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 Honda Civics, and they are all lined up from P6 to P9. Then Opel Corsa, Renault Clio, Mini, Peugeot, Toyota Yaris, Ibiza, so 6 different car models, 10 starters. Not bad, not bad. And red lights went off. It means that warm-up lap has begun. And P10, or last starting position, this time belongs to Gints Pabērzs, was poleman in race 1, as a starting grid is determined by, here you see the grid as well. And starting positions were determined by the draw this morning, and the driver who, actually the car which takes pole position for race 1 will start from the last position for race 2, and the car which was P2 at the grid of race 1 will be penultimate on the grid for race 2, and so on and so on. All the drivers are Latvian, and this class is for cars with engine displacement up to 1,450 cubic centimeters, and their engine output, production car engine output, is limited to 75 horsepower. So if you have a car with 76 horsepower, you can't take part in this race. And of course modifications are very strictly limited for give the cars some quality, and they are really evenly matched, as we saw from race 1. And that's the aim for this race, just not only to give people cheap basic racing experience, but also give them level playing field. Anyway, warm-up lap is going to end. First cars are already in the place, and in a few seconds the race 2 will start for ABC cars. Standing start, and over 10 laps this time, hopefully. Oskar Skarda and Jānis Hāns from the first row. Everything is ready. One red light, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we go for race 2. Jānis Hāns got the jump on Oskar Skarda, and Jānis Hāns is now leading. Artūrs Virbulis from inside is now second and battling with Egon Slapins for second and third. Virbulis taking second after first turn, Slapins third, and fourth seems to be Ernest Skulte. Anyway, Jānis Hāns is leading race 2 in front of Artūrs Virbulis, and Egon Slapins is the current standing. When the cars enter turn 6, 7, 8, 9 complex, everybody still together and no collisions. But poleman Oskar Skarda is losing places one by one. He's now already down to P6. But meanwhile, Jānis Hāns in the lead has a few car lengths in hand over second place Artūrs Virbulis. But is anyone attempting to overtake somebody? Yes, it's Artūrs Skulte who collides with Egon Slapins and goes off himself, losing many places in the process. So Slapins is safely third now, despite being overtaken by Hāns, and now he's losing to Virbulis. Maybe 20 or 30 meters here. You can see the mini of Lapinš. And there is battle going on, and lead poleman Oskar Skarda is going to lose another place into the final turn that happened here. Jānis Hāns as the leader crosses the timing line first time, and his gap to second place Artur Virbulis is 0.8 seconds. Egon Lapinš third, almost 2 seconds behind the leader, but it means nothing. It's only the end of lap 1, and here I don't want to say they are back markers. They're just battling for lower positions. Race 1 poleman Gints Pabērzs was there, who is Oskar Skarda, race 2 poleman. But here are the leaders, and Jānis Hāns, I thought he may be able to pull away right from the beginning, but it has not been the case, at least until now. Here you see top 3, then there is a little bit gap to the 4th placed Kārlis Ozoliņš, who won race 1. Then there is another gap, and then 6th place belongs to race 1 win 2nd placed man Gints Pabērzs. Pabērzs in this silver Opel, sliding a lot on the former main straight. This is Egon Lapinš, and you see 4th placed Kārlis Ozoliņš is quite far from him, no danger for Lapinš. Jānis Hāns, meanwhile, crosses timing line for 2nd time. He sets fastest lap, which now is 1:43.1. And gap to Artur Virbulis is now a little bit over 1 second, but it's not certainly decisive. But what is happening is that Egon Lapinš in P3 is closing in to Artur Virbulis in P2. So quite static I would say, as it stands. But gaps still are not that large. So hopefully, and Oskar Skarda is getting huge slide into the complex. That's when you lift the throttle entering that turn. It's a tricky place, and it's basically very, very crucial for the good lap time. If you make a mistake into that complex, or in that complex, or especially exiting that complex, then you're going to lose a lot of time. And it's exactly what happened to Oskar Skarda. So he started from pole position, and now he's down to P8 already. But no changes between the leaders, other that Egon Lapinš has closed the gap to Artur Virbulis even more. It's certainly under 1 second now. And Jānis Hāns as a leader is pulling away step by step. Lap 3 is completed now by the leader, and we will see how many seconds. 1.2 to Virbulis and 1.8 to Lapinš. So Lapinš is now basically on the back of Virbulis under braking, and having better exit from turn 3 helps his case even more. We will see when the moment arrives when Lapinš will try to overtake his countryman Virbulis. And also it's Ernest Schulte in P6 with that black Renault Clio, who is catching Andris Lielgavis in front of him. Schulte has been certainly the faster of those two. And here we see that Egon Lapinš Mini is now already in the slipstream of Artur Virbulis, and Virbulis is not defending into turn 11. Lapis went wide, but Virbulis was not able to use it initially, but yeah, Lapis went too wide. And it meant that all of a sudden Kārlis Ozoliņš has also caught them, and now Lapis is under threat from Ozoliņš, who won, of course, race 1. So you can see how suddenly and how fast things can change in this race. And it also means that Jānis Hāns, the leader, is now in still water. You see at least 100 meters behind him, and there are 4 cars in a row. Gints Pabērzs has also joined the party. Virbulis in second, Gints Pabērzs third, Kārlis Ozoliņš fourth, and Gints Pabērzs fifth. And once again, for some reasons, Lapinš takes another line now exiting turn 3 and loses a little bit to Ozoliņš, and now for the next turn Ozoliņš will have the inside. Lapinš is definitely going to defend, but no. Lapinš surrendered his third place to Ozoliņš. Maybe his car was damaged a little bit on last lap after that slight collision, but for whatever reason he is seemingly losing some pace, and it means that Virbulis can breathe a little bit more freely now. And this is Ernest Schulte trying to improve his position against Andris Lielgavs. Schulte was on the inside for the next turn. And on the background you see flashing. It's difficult to say that black car was flashing through the picture, but it did actually, and Schulte did take P6. But this is battle for second, third, fourth and fifth place, and Artūrs Virbulis is now again under threat, this time from Kārlis Ozoliņš, race 1 winner, and Ozoliņš is taking the place, and also Lapinš uses the occasion and overtakes Virbulis into turn 1, and Gints Pabērzs also, who is going to take which place we will see. And again Lapinš another time lost out. He started the maneuver but was the big loser. Instead of being P3 he's still P5, and somehow Virbulis was able to defend in his third place, but while those 3 were battling between themselves, Kārlis Ozoliņš managed to escape at least a little bit. But Artūrs Virbulis now is defending against Gints Pabērzs. Meanwhile, leader Jānis Hāns is long gone. His gap to second place Kārlis Ozoliņš is now something like 6.5 seconds, and Ozoliņš has also pulled away from Artūrs Virbulis. Meanwhile, Gints Lapinš is trying, we'll see. And here is Gints Lapinš, who is trying to overtake Gints Pabērzs. And of course they see Artūrs Virbulis in front of them. It's not very far. And surprisingly, it's only 6th lap, which is going to be completed in few seconds. Leader Jānis Hāns is doing it in a few seconds. It happens now, and his silver Toyota Corolla is in front of Honda Civic Kārlis Ozoliņš by 3.4 seconds, so it's a comfortable gap. Leader, there's no need to push anymore. Gints Lapinš this time takes a wide line through turn 3, but we see that it didn't help his case. Cars in positions 2, 3, 4 and 5, they're still battling, although the battle is not so direct. But this is Ernest Schulte. He is currently in P6 and overtook Andres Lielgavs a few laps ago, but has not been able to pull away from his rival. And Lielgav is certainly having some plans how to retaliate to Schulte. Hopefully he can do it without any collisions. But those cars are again battling for places from the first down to fifth, and Jānis Hāns, for whatever reason, has lost the majority of his lead. It was almost 3.5 seconds 1 lap ago, but now you can see he's maybe 1 or 1.5 seconds in front of Kārlis Ozoliņš only when they are completing lap 7. And yes, Hāns' lap time was 1:45 while Ozoliņš was 1:43, so leader lost 2 seconds during 1 lap. And this is Virbulis also exiting turn 3 in the not best fashion, and it means that Gints Pabērzs is already alongside. Actually, Pabērzs was in front when they crossed the timing line. And can Pabērzs? Yes, Pabērzs made a bold move around the outside into turn 6, and now he's quite firmly in P3. And meanwhile, Virbulis must now defend again against Egon Slapins, but now it is for 4th position. But what is happening between the leaders? Jānis Hāns is leading and is not allowed Kārlis Ozoliņš any closer. But Arturs Virbulis is now again caught in Pabērzs. Pabērzs holds 3rd place. Those leaders, Jānis Hāns in front and Kārlis Ozoliņš, who won race 1, behind him. And this is battle for 3rd place. We still have 3 laps to go and nothing is decided, at least what is concerning P3. Let's see what two leaders have done, what their lap times are. And leader Jānis Hāns lost another 8 tenths to 2nd place Kārlis Ozoliņš, so the gap is now less than 1 second, and Ozoliņš suddenly has a chance to take 2 race wins. While Hāns was leading and having a gap to about 3.5. And here you see Hāns is losing his pace, and Ozoliņš is in his wake already. Maybe 3 or 4 car lengths only between them, and with 2 laps to go, I wouldn't bet on Hāns' win in this race. Yeah, it's a good sign, of course, for the entertainment if gaps are closing down towards the checkered flag. The battle for P6 and 7 is also raging on. Ernst Schulte and Andres Lielgavs exchanged their positions during the previous lap, but now Schulte has regained his 6th. And can Ozoliņš close into the leader Hāns? There's a little bit more than 1 lap still to the checkered flag. And don't be fooled by the lack of events during previous lap. I think now when final lap will be underway, everybody knows that there is only 1, maybe 2 chances. Let's look what the gaps are between 1st and 2nd. 1 second, 2nd and 3rd already also 1 second, so first 2 should be quite safe, but positions 3, 4 and maybe even 5 are still open, although Egon Slapins has dropped away a little bit from Gints Pabērzs and Arturs Virbulis. Hāns still leading, Ozoliņš still 2nd, but Pabērzs in P3 can't be sure about his position, and they are closing into the second place Ozoliņš as well. So should we have a drama during the final lap? It's not good for drivers, they are under huge stress right now. But for spectators it's also, they look it from another way. So finally, can now Virbulis? No, he can't. Can't outbrake, but another chance has raised. Virbulis is on the inside now for turn 12. But Pabērzs covers it. There's no way, and Hāns has now only one turn until the checkered flag, and victory in race 2. Meanwhile, Igaunijas has also caught third and fourth placed cars, and this is leader, and leader has now checkered flag in front of him, just 2 seconds. And Jānis Hāns has won race 2 in ABC. Kārlis Ozoliņš takes second place, Gints Pabērzs is third, Artus Virbulis fourth, Igaunijas fifth, Ernest Skulte takes sixth, Andris Lielgav is seventh, Edgars Polačonoks eighth, Oskars Garda will be ninth, and Ignis Wools takes 10. So all 10 cars reach the finish, and even if it wasn't such an eventful race as the first one, we still had some good duels and good battles. So in a few moments we will have an interview from Parc Fermé. I've been told that there is no interview this time with ABC drivers, and we will go directly to the next race, which will be for PTC cars. But before PTC cars taking the grid, we will have highlights from ABC race 1, and this is winner Jānis Hāns. Actually, he took the win we predicted, but it was much harder for him. Whatever was the reason, but he had 3.5 seconds in hand at one moment, but lost it almost completely, and towards the end Kārlis Ozoliņš was less than half second behind the leader, but couldn't pose any threat.